Now on CoastTV News.
More beach replenishment funds, how one committee in Dewey Beach could recommend a change.
Only a handful of cars outside this Ocean City Inn, why some places say they've been seeing fewer visitors.
And the Powerball jackpot rises to $950 million. What locals are saying they would do with the spoils.
We're expecting some more sunshine for our holiday weekend weather. Details coming up.
This is CoastTV News at 5.
Sand, surf, and sunshine, how Dewey Beach is working to protect it all. Good evening. I'm Christina DeRobertis.
And I'm Charlie Sakaitis. We begin in Dewey Beach, where the focus is on keeping the shoreline strong for the future.
Yeah, with Hurricane Erin long past us here on Delmarva, fixing up beaches and protecting against future storms is now a top priority for towns and cities all along the coast. CoastTV News reporter Brandon Ferguson is live in Dewey Beach. Brandon, a town committee is set to discuss beach replenishment in about 30 minutes.
Christina, the remnants of heavy waves and rough surf from last week can still be seen here today on Dewey Beach. Now follow me as I take about 10 feet worth of steps behind me. You can see I get lower in elevation. That's because the waves have carved out this low spot here on Dewey Beach. And while fixing this spot, the dunes, or anything on the beach can be expensive, that's why one committee tonight could make a decision to increase the beach replenishment fund here in Dewey Beach. Walking to the beautiful beaches in Dewey. The town is trying to keep them that way. Dewey currently has $6.1 million in beach replenishment funds. Tonight, the Dewey Beach Climate Change Committee could recommend expanding the use of those funds. Lee Katz is a frequent visitor to Dewey Beach and doesn't mind if extra cash were to go to the fund.
I would be for anything that responsibly works to preserve the beach and the bay and make this continue to make this a very special place to visit.
Beach replenishment includes only the beach in Dewey, not the bay, and covers dune work and any repairs the beach might need. That meeting starts at 5:30 tonight, and at that meeting, the committee could recommend the change to the town council, but ultimately, the town council has the final say. Live in Dewey Beach, Brandon Ferguson, CoastTV News.
And with replenishment underway, a new survey shows Delawareans keenly aware of climate change. 74% are concerned. 79% see it as a serious threat, which is an increase from a similar survey that was done back in 2019. 58% believe climate change will affect them personally. 55% say they've observed local impacts already. And 59% support offshore wind energy. That survey included 1,500 Delawareans. Smaller lodges are noticing a smaller number of guests in Ocean City. According to some hotels CoastTV spoke with today, they're bracing for a quieter Labor Day weekend when compared to last year, while others say the weekends have been slower over the course of the summer. But according to a recent July report, overall numbers for hotel stays, those have actually gone up compared to last July. The executive director of the Ocean City Hotel Motel Restaurant Association says those numbers, though, don't paint the entire picture.
The oceanfront and the chain properties are doing fine, and that's what the numbers that we've seen are showing us, because that's all that's being measured are those chain properties. So some of the people who are calling me directly would be some of the smaller mom and pop motels who their numbers are not reported, so we don't actually know what the real numbers are.
While the sun is getting low on the summer, hotels around there are hoping to get another big bump when crowds show up for the Ocean's Calling and Country Calling music festivals. All of this brings us right into the CoastTV poll. We want to know, where do you usually stay in Ocean City?
Let's take a look at the results here. Take a look at your screen. 29% stay in a big hotel, 9% stay in a small motel, 19% say a house or a condo rental, and most people, 43%, say they stay at a friend's place.
Good to have friends with places near the beach. If you haven't voted yet, you can still do that at coasttv.com or use our mobile app.
Well, after no winners from Wednesday's drawing, the Powerball jackpot now climbs to $950 million. The odds of winning are steep, but that hasn't stopped people from being helpful. We spoke with some people about what they'd do if they won.
I help out my grandchildren, set up college funds, and there's just so much. It would just basically give us years of generational wealth, Powerball. So
take care of the whole family, all the kids, the grandkids, everybody. Everybody gets a house.
That's nice, taking care of the family. And the next Powerball drawing, that's going to be on Saturday, August 30th. The estimated $950 million's cash value is $428.9 million, according to Powerball's website.
Let's take a live look into the Laurel area. Some beautiful skies out there as we check in with our First Alert Chief Meteorologist, Paul Williams.
Take a look at Dover outside. We see scattered cloud cover in place and winds at about 14 miles per hour. We've enjoyed a relatively tranquil situation throughout today, and we anticipate pretty close to the same thing, except a skosh warmer going into tomorrow. We will drop down to 71 degrees with partly cloudy skies by the 8 o'clock hour. Here's the latest look at the wind gusts. The winds are primarily pushing out of the south. That's what all this motion is about. This is a southerly breeze. Remember, a southern wind means it's coming out of the south, not going to the south. So we have a southerly breeze happening right now with that moisture and that little bit of thermodynamic energy coming along with it. We're at 78 degrees currently in Dagsboro, as well as Redden, Milford, Seaford, Laurel, and Delmar holding in at 76 degrees. So we have the current wave heights down to about 3 to 4 feet, so everything's gotten better, although we still have some waves in place now. As you take a look at our UV index for tomorrow, we're talking about an 8. Yeah, time to still keep that sunblock handy.
Thank you, Paul. President Trump ordered that all flags be lowered to half-staff out of respect for the victims of Wednesday's shooting in Minneapolis. Also, Governor Matt Meyer directed all state buildings and facilities to lower the Delaware flag to half-staff. The governor released a statement expressing his condolences, saying, quote, "School should always be a place to learn, not to be scared." And for more information on this, you can check out our article over on CoastTVnews.com. Well, the Centers for Disease Control is now in the middle of a political firestorm. The White House says the CDC head is out of a job because her views did not align with President Trump's. But as NBC's Ryan Nobles reports, Susan Menarez says she's not going anywhere.
Less than 1 month after she was confirmed as head of the Centers for Disease Control, the White House says Susan Menarez is out, but she's not going without a fight. The White House says Menarez's views are not aligned with President Trump, even though he chose her to lead the nation's health protection agency.
We're going to make sure that folks that are in positions of leadership there are aligned with that mission.
But Menarez says she hasn't spoken to the president and won't step down. Her attorneys say she refused to, quote, rubber stamp unscientific, reckless directives and fire dedicated health experts, and chose to protect the public over serving a political agenda. Last night, Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., a longtime vaccine skeptic, said he fired Menarez.
There's really a deeply, deeply embedded, I would say, malaise at the agency. And we need strong leadership that will go in there.
The chaos shaking up the agency as 4 high-ranking leaders all resigned, one writing he cannot serve any longer because of the weaponizing of public health. Senator Bill Cassidy, chairman of Health, Education, Labor, and Pensions, says his committee will oversee any high-profile departures. Cassidy, a doctor himself, cast a pivotal vote to confirm Kennedy as secretary. He said at the time that Kennedy promised to uphold vaccine approval and monitoring systems. But since then, Kennedy has fired advisory committee members who recommended vaccines and cut funding for vaccine research.
They can't do the kind of surveillance they were doing or funding immunization clinics that they were doing. I think they have been neutered by Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
And with flu and COVID season around the corner, the Food and Drug Administration has approved a new COVID vaccine, but they're recommending it for a much smaller group of at-risk Americans, including those over the age of 65 or at risk of a severe illness. That could mean that more insurance companies will only cover the vaccine for people in those at-risk groups. Ryan Nobles, NBC News, Washington.
Freshmen moving into Salisbury University. How many of these first years arrived and their excitement?
We're expecting some brighter days ahead. Your full forecast coming up.
But first, playing like it's 1864. The rules, the uniforms, the equipment. One team in Lewis has it all. This week's Coastal Connections after the break.
Baseball. We call it America's pastime, though over the years some of the rules and equipment have changed. But what if they didn't? As Brandon Ferguson explains in today's Coastal Connections, there's a team in Lewis that plays just like it's the 1860s.
Fielding, hitting, all for the love of one of America's oldest sports. The Lewis Baseball Club and teams like them are bringing the old ways of baseball up to speed in 2025. Founder and president of the club, Mike DiPaolo, says his team is made up of friends and other lovers of the game, but they play a little different.
You kind of get 4 strikes and 4 balls. There's a warning aside and then 3 of each. So you kind of get 4, and the umpire doesn't have to call everything. So it's a little different, it looks different, it feels different, but when you come out, you definitely recognize it as baseball.
Before being reopened in 2012, the Lewis Baseball Club tracks their history all the way back to the late 1800s.
I love history and I love baseball.
The team has traveled all over the East Coast, playing this historical style of baseball in Gettysburg and the birthplace of baseball, Cooperstown, New York. Pitchers are known as hurlers, and batters are strikers. If a bad call happens, you are arguing with an arbiter, not an umpire.
We know the Lewis Baseball Club plays by the 1864 rules, but they even play with the equipment too. Check out the ball they use. You see the laces here going all the way in a different pattern, and on the other side, they even stop. And if you look at the ball that they play with nowadays, you can see the traditional laces, and this is just one of many differences that this ball club plays with.
Patrick Samuto has played for years on the team. For this matchup, his son Dalton got to watch the team play. For Dalton, there's only 2 words to describe watching his dad play.
Very funny. It's just fun having him with me to watch me play, and I get to watch him play, and it's a joy.
DiPaolo says the camaraderie of the team is what drives him to play.
You get to meet a lot of different guys who share the same passion for baseball.
One team made up of friends and love of the game. For Coastal Connections, I'm Brandon Ferguson.
Taking a look at Ocean City. Listen, this is what we're talking about. Back to the beaches, where the beaches are cooperative and the skyline is cooperative as well. But you got to still wear your sun block because we have few, if little, cloud cover that's in place. Please keep that in mind, because I know it feels cooler, but it can still burn your skin very easily. Now, we will drop down to 68 degrees as early as 9 o'clock with mainly scattered cloud cover. Now, we were a little cloudy today, but we're going to see more in the way of sunshine for tomorrow. That'll allow us to ease up into the 80s pretty easily. But we are at 80 degrees right now, officially in Milton. But seeing it just dropped back to 79 degrees. That's what happens when you do things live, right? 76 for us in Millsboro, Delmar, as well as Gumboro. The winds mainly pushing out of the south, relatively light inland, picking up a little momentum for the beaches. A 22 mile per hour gust force in Rehoboth, a 21 mile per hour wind gust force actually in Ocean City. But most of the cloud cover is carrying from the west to the east pretty steadily. No advisories or anything like that. We do have a trough just to our northwest that's helping to create more in the way of cloud cover. I don't really see rain as a problem. In fact, as we were discussing this as a team of Mets this week, we were really talking about pulling out the drought meter again, because it looks like we're going to be dry for some time, and then we have plenty of sunshine. Now, we are expecting for it to continue to oscillate between 7 and 8 for the next few days in a row. That being said, winds are out of the southwest, 12 to 19 miles per hour for tomorrow, 80 for the high in Georgetown and Millsboro. We're looking for 79 for the high in Cambridge, 80 in Federalsburg, by the way. And as we pull over here towards Berlin, Ocean City, and Snow Hill, and Chincoteague, 80 degrees, the expected high around the Horn. Now, as you take a look at things along the coast, we're looking at 79, for example, in Rehoboth Beach, but we're looking at 82 again for us at Ocean City. Friday morning, 62, winds out of the south, more sunshine, and we're clocking 80s by the time we get to the afternoon. Saturday, we start off in the mid-50s, but Saturday afternoon, we're going to only be in the 70s by then. So let's talk about that lack of rain. Our rain chances stay below 10%. We don't get to 15% until we get to like Tuesday. So this is Saturday, just a few clouds. Sunday, going into Monday, we stay clear. Wednesday, we start seeing some rain bubble up right off of the coast. And not till we get to maybe Thursday morning do we really see any significant opportunity for scattered showers to really kick in for us. By Thursday in the evening time, we'll see more developed showers by then. So clearing out and cooling off for tonight. Then we're looking for some sunshine for tomorrow at 80 degrees, 75 for us actually, for us on Saturday. And then finally, here's a look at your 7-day forecast. Listen, like we said, we really won't see any rain try to develop with some gusto and gumption about it till we get to Thursday. So hey, we're high and dry. Until then.
Thank you, Paul. Big day for some kids out there. Freshmen arrived at Salisbury University today, hauling those boxes, bins, plenty of excitement onto campus. Orientation leaders and move-in crews lined the sidewalks to welcome the newest Seagulls and help them get settled.
And after move-in, the focus shifted to Hanson Lawn for Survival of Arrival. It's an event where students meet organizations and clubs to start building connections.
It's been a blast. I mean, you can see all the people behind me. Everyone's here to help. Everyone's giving stuff out. It's all a good time. Everyone's here to help you out. So.
And with around 900 people moving in for the first time today, SU gave their newest students a glimpse into their atmosphere for the next 4 years. For many, it was the first step in making Salisbury feel like home and the start of a brand new chapter as a Seagull.
Coming up tonight on DSN at 6:30, it's Scoops and Scores. Then at 7, it's live Delaware High School football when Cape hosts St. Mark's. Then you can catch the final score at 11 p.m. And over on the DSN Plus app at 6, Indian River takes on Odessa. At 7, Woodbridge travels to Caesar Rodney and Delmar faces Delaware Military Academy.
Meanwhile, coming up, the Ocean City Police Department requests your help identifying this man. What it's for, coming up next. The Ocean City Police Department needs help identifying the individual you see on your screen here. A theft occurred at Midtown Convenience Store last night around 11 p.m. The man was last seen wearing a gray shirt and red and white Nike shoes. If you know the person on your screen, please contact the Ocean City Police Department.
The Trump administration proposed a rule that targets the visas of foreign students, but also those with cultural exchange programs. The Department of Homeland Security says for students, it would be no longer than the length of the program and not exceed 4 years. Right now, foreign students with an F visa can remain in the U.S. 60 days after finishing their studies, and foreign media visas would extend up to 240 days. Amazon is facing a class action lawsuit. They're being accused of a bait and switch. The person who filed the lawsuit says she purchased episodes of a Nickelodeon TV series in May, but later found her purchases were no longer available. That's due to fine print in Amazon's terms and conditions, and the lawsuit is seeking unspecified damages, including damages for alleged intentionally malicious conduct.
In Washington, D.C., it's likely costing at least $1 million a day to keep the National Guard there. The estimate comes from the Director of Studies at the Center for New American Security and a senior advisor at the Center for Strategic and International Studies. It covers pay for over 2,200 troops plus hotel, travel, and other logistical costs. The estimate is based on the 2020 deployment of 5,000 guardsmen in D.C.
Now here's a live look outside into Dover. We'll have one more check on the forecast after this.
Coming up new on Coast TV News at 6, biplanes and veterans in Dover, the story of their flight, and more on Coast TV News at 6.
Here's a look at our Ocean City view. Hey, the boats are trailing out there and having a wonderful time. We're at 74 degrees. Well, the people in the boats don't have emotion. But you know, we'll drop back to 68 degrees with a temperature of 68 right around the 9 o'clock hour. And Saturday and Sunday temperature staying in the 70s with the winds pushing out of the north. Our umbrella giveaway winner is Sophie Crizzle of Milton. Congratulations. Be sure you come by the station since we're in your neighborhood and pick up your umbrella. Call for your forecast, 443-880-9100. Your forecast is just a call away. Sponsored by the law offices of Brockstead, Mandalis, and Federico. And here's a look at your exclusive 10-day forecast. Listen, your holiday weekend is looking A-OK, but a little on the cool side overnight because we will fall well into the 50s for the next 4 to 5 mornings in a row.
Thank you again, Paul, and thanks for joining us for Coast TV News at 5.
For more news, more local weather, download our Coast TV News app.
Inside Edition is up next.
And we'll see you later tonight for Coast TV News at 6. Have a great evening.